Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we're going to talk about Total War Warhammer 3 and pretty much why I still have a little bit of hope for it. Yes, I know some people are already angrily typing in the comments, but hear me out, right? There's a few things that I want to talk about and just hopefully not have so much negativity. I'm kind of tired of it, my dudes. I'm really honest with you. It's not great for anyone. I don't really care too much about Creative Assembly, or better yet said, their management, but more so ourselves. We're spending a lot of time being quite negative when, yeah, they do have a chance to turn things around, and there's loads of other projects going on in the Total War Warhammer sphere that aren't officially done, obviously being worked on by modders for free, and yeah, they're super cool, and we need to talk about this stuff, right? The game's not dead, the game's just going through a rough patch. If the game dies, it dies officially, but it doesn't die through the hands of modders who are keeping this and other Total War games alive. So as you can see here, I'm still playing Total War, I'm still heavily modding my Total War games and just enjoying the time that I do have. While yes, this game has become somewhat of a job for me, I'm still very much emotionally attached to it. That's why when the shit does go south, I do get angry. And yeah, things have not been great with recent patches. It's not just been patch 4.0, it's also been patch 3.1. The release of the DLC, which happened in 4.0, also Shadows of Change, was a bit of a shock to most people, a lot of us included, content creators. And I believe the reaction that was provided, not only by the creators, but by the community as a whole, was justified. That there is not enough content in Shadows of Change to justify the price. Creative Assembly got greedy. And this is something that isn't actually kind of new. Creative Assembly have had their own, controversies in the past with stuff like Rome 2. Yes, I know this video is sounding fairly negative already, but I do have a point to make. Creative Assembly have had to learn. If they want to keep this game generating cash, they'll either need to increase content or reduce price of future DLC, because now they are aware that the community is not going to stand for it. For the first time in a while, the community stood up together and have decided, no, this is not going to work, especially after we had such phenomenal DLCs in the past, like the Silence and the Fury and so on, which were incredible quality. We just want that, right? If it has another legendary lord and another faction, it should have the same amount of quality put into it, right? And this is why the community is cautiously looking forward towards, Thrones of Decay, the unnamed Sinesh DLC, and whatever would come in the future. Because we still want content, we just want good value for money, and people are happy to buy. A lot of people have been purchasing DLC, a lot of people want more DLC. This is the thing. The community is invested into the series. It's not just you normal Total War fans, those who've only basically played this, but there's a lot of people who are emotionally invested into this game, like myself, when it comes to it being a Warhammer Fantasy title. As you know, we suffered through the end times, we lost the setting that we liked. It wasn't just tabletop players, but lore fans and so on. A lot of people who have grown up with this setting and saw it triumphantly return, right? It proved Games Workshop wrong, so a lot of us want this series to do well, because, hell, it puts a little bit of a, hey, you were wrong to Games Workshop, and that's really satisfying, right? But Creative Assembly obviously monitoring the situation. If it wasn't that, then they wouldn't have put out 2 hotfixes at record speed. Yes, that was actually record speed. They must be aware that this is their moneymaker, and they can't really screw over the fan base. They've got 2 titles coming up, right? Total War Pharaoh, which we don't know how well this is going to do. We don't know if it's going to last and get a lot of support, or it's just going to be like Troy was and just abandoned very early on. You never know. Maybe they do have a lot of DLC plans. We haven't really seen too much of the game just yet, so I'm not really too interested until I get to play it. And then there's Hyenas, and you know what? This is going to be the last time I actually mention Hyenas, because I do notice it a lot. The community has been mentioning Hyenas a lot. It's a game which, in all honesty, I have no interest in, and I was looking at it with angry eyes. The way I was seeing it is funds from Total War Warhammer have been going into Hyenas, which may or may not be true, but if you don't want a game and you don't want to contribute to its success, stop mentioning it. I know that sounds very odd, but like seriously, a lot of the knowledge of Hyenas came into effect because of Total War fans going in their videos, thus giving them views and pushing them further up the algorithm. Yeah, if you don't care about this title, just literally ignore it. It doesn't really affect you in any way, shape, or form. Yes, I know a lot of people are going to use the excuse of funds are going into there, but you're giving it more attention. You're letting people know that it exists. People don't read the comments as much as you think. The perfect analogy I can give to this situation is how gods and deities work in Warhammer Fantasy. The less attention they get, the weaker they are. The more attention they get, the stronger they are. So yeah, from now on, that's how I'm going to look at it. There's other titles that we know that Creative Assembly are working on. We've all heard the rumors of like a console game, an RPG, and we have got official confirmation from their Twitter account that they are working on another Total War title, which is a big mistake, but we'll talk about that in a future video. I don't like the idea of them basically doing a game a year. It's just stupid. But Creative Assembly are more than aware that Warhammer is their big money maker. This is why they've grown so much over the years, why they've been able to acquire other studios, increase their staff basically by double, and yeah, if Warhammer dies, they must be fully aware that they're going to lose out on a lot of money. They got cocky and they tried to test the waters, but obviously it's not going to work for them, so I really believe that they're going to have to change things over. If I'm proven wrong, I will happily admit that I'm wrong, but I feel like they're going to have to, or else it's going to be a massive issue. Now, we've also got to take into account of the rumors that we've been hearing about Total War 40k. I know people are going to say it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Listen to me, I wholeheartedly believe that between now and say 5 years time, maybe even 6, we will get a Total War Warhammer 40k. I would even put fucking money onto it. For context, I don't gamble, I absolutely despise it, but I would be willing to put money onto it and say that we're going to get it. But if basically Creative Assembly screw over Warhammer Fantasy, Games Workshop would probably be apprehensive and maybe put in a lot more restrictions towards the title. This is mainly because there have been a lot of very, very interesting rumors that Warhammer the Old World has now been delayed until January 2024. I've been covering a lot of these rumors in the past, and the general consensus was that it was going to be released around this November, with October being the 40th anniversary, having the trailer. Usually it's about 3 weeks after a trailer that something actually, you know, comes out. So Games Workshop have likely delayed Warhammer the Old World because Total War Warhammer 3 is not doing so well, and they were going to use this as a marketing tool. Grand Cafe and Kislev we know were worked in conjunction. How are they going to sell those miniatures if, well, shit's hitting the fan, right? It's painful for me, as I was expecting Warhammer the Old World this year. A lot of sources, a lot of reputable sources that reached out to me said it was that, so I was really hoping for that, as it's something that I want to cover on this channel, but really it does make sense. If they want to get more sales, not everyone that plays Total War Warhammer is going to buy naturally, but it will generate a few more sales, and if they have a big title to kind of show alongside it, it's very, very good for promotion. Games Workshop are likely going to be like, hey, what's going on? You are kind of affecting our plans now too. The next thing is, despite the fact that obviously, you know, Shadows of Change wasn't great, we do have other people in the community really pushing out there. As you've been seeing on screen, I've been playing through Immortal Empires Expanded. This is a fantastic mod using the Kame tools, which has been expanding the map and adding in more locations. I've also been playing a mod by Rocks, which is allowing me to play as a custom legendary lord in the area known as the Gates of Caliph, and yeah, it's cool, you know? We're getting really, really cool mods. It's not only that, but we've got OVN Lost Factions, we've got loads and loads of like custom-made race packs, custom-made lord packs. The community, the modding community, has been the reason why Total War has really been successful, in all honesty, because we have to see it this way. Why are so many people still playing Med 2? Stuff like, you know, the Lord of the Rings mod, DAC, there's the Call of Warhammer mod. A lot of mods come in and really give a new life to the titles. Let's use Three Kingdoms, for example. Three Kingdoms was pretty much abandoned. Well, I would say more taken outside and shot, but modders have been keeping it alive through like the Make Them Unique mod and a few other ones, which still means that this game is quite popular in terms of Total War standards. Hell, there's even a modding community for Total War Saga Troy, which is basically completing everything that people were expecting for Troy. So that's obviously cool. It's not a game that I'm really interested in, but it's still nice to see that there is a community devoted to fixing stuff up, right? And then if we go back to the Total War sphere, many of us are still waiting for OVN Araby, because yes, right? There's been a lot of buzz about that. There's also other projects, like for example, on screen, we have something on the works by Zoodad, a very popular modder. You guys might remember him from Sigmar's Heirs. He's working on a Nippon faction, and let's be honest, that's looking pretty damn cool. He's allowed permission for me to be able to put some screenshots onto this video. So yeah, if we don't get Nippon, Koresh, Ind, or whatever officially, modders will probably do it. Modders will allow for a really cool system, some unique mechanics. It does depend, obviously the engine is quite old and it does need framework being added in by Creative Assembly, but yeah, you know, we've got this, we've got the Immortal Empires expanded map. Now you can play either the standard one or you can pick the really cool expanded version that was created by modders. Creative Assembly did help with that too, which shows that they do care about this game. At least the devs care about this game if they're willing to spend some of their time working with modders. There are some devs who are dedicated to working with the modding community, not people who are just working on DLCs and taking their time away from that to help modders, by the way. I know some people might be thinking that. You guys know me, I cover a lot of mods on this channel, and there are some really cool ones that haven't really been showcased just yet. I don't know when they will be, and I don't want to talk about them too much, mostly because, well, if the modder themselves isn't showing anything about it yet publicly, well, I'm not going to do that either, right? That would be really mean. The most important thing that we can do as a community is keep vocal, obviously with some respect, not insulting, like, normal frontline devs who don't really make decisions, but vote with your wallet. Creative Assembly will have to realize that they've made a mistake. I'm pretty sure they've already done so, but keep reminding them. This isn't the first time that this has happened. It's not going to be the last time. I'm pretty much sure of that. Might be the last time for Warhammer 3, but yeah, it'll probably happen in a future historical game. It's just one of these things where Creative Assembly learn, but then they do try to do, well, the stuff like we've seen here. I mean, it's unfortunately how gaming is going, but I'm still keeping up hope for Warhammer 3. I'm keeping up hope that they've realized where the mistakes are going, and, you know, I'm still looking at really, really cool mods where, yeah, it's giving me a lot more playtime on the game. That's why I have, as of the time of recording this video, 2,400 hours. I would have more, but yeah, it's been a little bit of a shit show, which has kind of burnt me out. However, I'm slowly pushing from that burnout. Anyways, this video should be going live around September 10th. I do apologize if I'm not replying to many comments today. It's because it's a local holiday, it's National Day. So I'm going out and I'm going to be celebrating with my family, with my friends, all that usual stuff. I feel like I need it. I need a little bit of a break. I want to spend time with people that I love. And I'll see you all again very, very soon, guys. Have a good day.